Ready to master your consciousness around money? This is the game changer. Watch this video. What I share in this video is going to be deeply connected to your beliefs, habits, and emotions around money. You want to hold tight for this one? Hold tight. Because this one's going to be the game changer. This one's going to be the one where you go, I get it. Keep watching, because this is the core breakdown of how I teach about money. And let me tell you, when you understand the consciousness of this, it's going to be so easy. The same way you have spiritual consciousness around the world, everything is a consciousness, you have this around money. See what I'm saying? This is where the term wealth consciousness came from. A lot of people don't understand this, but let me tell you, when I understood this, everything changed for me. Because then I learned, well, how do we increase that consciousness? When we increase that consciousness, we increase how much money comes in. This is not something I discovered on a whim. I studied this for, it's been about 12 years now. I've read hundreds and hundreds of money books, but I've also studied our relationship with money and how it affects us and our psychology and how it emotionally affects us. And I've come up with this. And I was able to create my entire reality filled with abundance and money with what I'm going to show you today. So once I saw the same things were happening with consciousness, I then went and applied it to money. And just as I suspected, it started working out the same way. I started implementing it, and there was a direct correlation. And this is where my clients, guess what? They started having their highest income cash months in their business. And I started seeing everybody was quantum leaping their income, quantum leaping their cash, just like that. Because it's consciousness. It's not the human behavior, it's the consciousness behavior. Staying with me still? So their consciousness around money shifted, which then allowed more money to come in, which then allowed them to quantum leap their income. This channel is designed for you to have a shift with your relationship with money. Y'all want that, right? Go ahead, hit the like button on this video. Don't forget to hit subscribe so that you can be notified when I'm releasing a new video. So there's a scale of consciousness. And actually, in my book, Unlocking the Quantum Woman, on page 26, I show you. Can you see it right here? And in the scale of consciousness, we have enlightenment at the top, and then we have shame on the bottom, let's say. And then there's a bunch of stuff in between. Now, I understood what that level of consciousness was. As I increased my consciousness, my vibrational frequency would go up. And if we do this with money, the same would happen. I've created a vibrational scale when it comes to money. And I'm going to show you. Once you shift your money mindset, the way your belief systems around money, your consciousness around money and wealth is going to go up. So to understand this better, you've got to understand one thing right now. Money is just the emotional and energetic components that we've assigned to it. It doesn't come here with all of this guilt, nonsense, and all this crap that people have put on it about money. That comes from other people. That comes from everybody else. That comes to all the people before. Because I decided that money doesn't have all that crap. Because I didn't assign all this meaning to money being, it has to do this, has to do that, it means this, it means that. So guess what? My consciousness around money is expanded. It's not limited. Money, it's just a piece of paper. It's just a piece of paper. It's just a piece of paper. But this piece of paper is not emitting all the meaning that people have assigned to it. That comes from people's consciousness around money. And sometimes it's low, by the way, that consciousness is low because they've assigned certain meaning to the money. So now it's not expanded. It's this, it's that, or the other thing. For some, money is the most amazing thing. For some, it's not. It's one of the most painful things that they've ever experienced in their life. And it's very difficult to create more, and it evades them all the time, and they never have enough of it. So the level of how easy and effortlessly money comes into your life is directly correlated to your wealth consciousness. Where is it at? And your wealth consciousness is a result of what your mindset is around money. Wealth consciousness affects your thoughts, your emotions, your energetic frequency, everything. And if you want to have quantum leaps in your life and business, what you're thinking, feeling, and experiencing will determine what your consciousness is around money, and then that will determine whether or not you and your business are quantum leaping or not. So many times you have to shed things energetically, many stories, things that you've attached to, things that are emotional connections to money that are trapped inside of you. And when you're doing this work, you sometimes energetically purge. Going through the money work, especially through my process, I recently had a client who was doing the deep money work with me, the deep emotional work with me, and she started having ascension symptoms. She was purging the old stories around money, all the limiting beliefs around it, and her body was going through the process, and she had to do that. She had to shed the old self in order to elevate into a new level of wealth consciousness around wealth. It will mimic physically in your body, because if you think about it, a guilty emotion around money, that's just holding space inside of you, like trauma inside of you with your money. You don't need to feel guilty about it, right? Shame, same thing. Betrayal, feeling money is never going to come again. All the fears and everything associated with it is stuck inside your system. And so when you start doing this work, and you start shedding the consciousness, you start shedding those beliefs, you need to physically purge it, and then your consciousness rises around it. Same process. I aspire to bring everybody in my world, my clients, into a higher level of wealth consciousness, so that then they can compound that and attract more wealth into their life and business. So the lower you are on that scale of regular consciousness, you're further away from enlightenment, right? But also with wealth consciousness, the same thing. If you've got guilt, greed, envy, whatever it is, judgment, scarcity mindset on the lower end of that scale, then your consciousness is not that expanded around money. You can't attract more wealth into where you're only going to attract more lack, because you're on that lower level of wealth consciousness scale. And your energy is not infinite. It's actually capped. This is all there is. This is all that's going to happen. Wealth consciousness is infinite possibilities, infinite wealth, overflow of abundance, nonstop compounding, infinity, more, 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 more. Another thing that people get really hung up on is how the money comes in, how they made the money. It has to be earned. It has to be made this way. It has to be hard. Who was told that they had to work really hard for their money? Or, well, you work really hard for your money, so you get to go do this with it. Oh, it's so hard. But if you have that conditioning that it has to be hard, guess what? It is going to be, say it with me, hard. So that's telling you it can only be achieved a linear way. This is the only way it's coming in, only way it gets to happen. You have to work really hard. It's only coming here. But let me tell you, this is, and you've heard this before, there's someone who could be a janitor working really, 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 really hard and still not be a millionaire. And then there's people out there not working very hard and becoming a millionaire. What hard do you want to choose? Because I chose the latter. I'm not working that hard anymore. I'm learning how to use my wealth consciousness to bring all that cash to me, all the wealth, all the experiences, because it can be done. When you use my process to expand your wealth consciousness, it works. You want to have more money in your life, it works. But it's not 100% perfect, because we're human. So you've got to do the work to get the results. And some people will start, they'll get all kinds of wins the first, 8 weeks or 2 months, 8 to 12 weeks, they'll start having a bunch of wins, quantum leaping their income, thinking they don't have to change, and then they let themselves right off the gas, and they go revert right back into their humanness, into their cycles and their patterns that are waiting right there lurking for them. And guess what? Then they're like, where's the result? I can't see it anymore. Well, you changed what you were doing. You stopped doing the work to get the results. You got to keep going. You got to keep expanding that consciousness. I do this work every single day. It's been 12 years. I do this work every single day. Every single day. Look, once you have an awareness that there's more money and that you can start attracting more of it, you want to stay on that momentum, because that's what's going to bring more into you. The moment that you stop and you think everything's okay, you're going to revert right back, and then you're going to have to dig yourself right back out of a hole just to get back up where you are. We want to keep expanding, expanding, expanding. The only thing that's going to compound that is an abundance thinking mindset and being able to see your consciousness rise on that scale. That's what we want. We want to expand our wealth consciousness. So you know what? You'll see people who make $12 million a year and they don't actually have an expanded wealth consciousness. Wait, what, Shamina? What did you just say? But they got a lot of money. Money, cash does not equal an expanded wealth consciousness. When I had nothing, I realized that I had to think and be and act in a different way. And I had to work on my wealth consciousness first. So with or without money, I will always be rich. What does that mean? If the money goes out, the money's going to come in. The money goes out, the money's going to come in. I have a continuous, endless, infinite flow of cash coming in because I have mastered and elevated my wealth consciousness. See, people think when they get the money, they've cured their problem. Fallacy. That is so wrong. It's the worst thing you could do, because that does not change your wealth consciousness. It's only a physical thing. The money came in. It doesn't change your being or your state. When you can change your being or your state, game on. Now that's the ticket. All right. Tell me what's one of your biggest takeaways from this video, because if you understood this, let me tell you, you're going to change the game. Every video you listen to me, everything you watch from me is going to expand the way you're thinking all the time. I want you all to have an expanded wealth consciousness. Go get my book, Unlocking the Quantum Woman. This book is going to change the way you think and feel. It's going to expand your consciousness on levels that you've never ever imagined. Listen to my podcast. That in itself is going to expand your wealth consciousness. It's going to take you from here to here, because I'm going to start getting you out of that lack or victimness or anything that's holding you back and really helping you compound and think in a certain way. Very, very different than the YouTube, but very, very, very important. Also, maybe you want to quantum leap right now and you're not waiting for all this stuff and you want to come work with me. Send my team a message at support@shaminataylor.com. Also, listen, don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to leave me a comment, and don't forget to hit subscribe. And also, don't forget to come join our Quantum Women group on Facebook. I want to see you. I want to get to know you. Come join our community, and you're going to love it in there. If you want to unlock more wealth consciousness, all you have to do is keep working on those lower beliefs. You keep expanding them and moving up the scale. All right, stay tuned for the next video. Bye for now.